YouTube was good, man. It's your boy AD. I'm back at it again with another video, man. This time, I got y'all with some jump shots. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got you with the one I'm using right now currently for my back end power forward build, who has currently a 79 3 ball, but has an 86 MIDI to be able to get a little bit better jump shot animations because of the 86 MIDI, of course. I also have a couple of other options for you that you can use for some jump shots that might be more beneficial for you too, depending on if you have a higher 3-point rating or somewhat similar. And then I'm also going to give you one for lower 3-point ratings that seem to have great green windows for releases and bases, and I'll kind of go over those and what the meanings of those. If y'all are interested, let's get into it, man. All right, so first one, like I said, is gonna be for my back end. It's what I'm currently using as we're playing Pro-Am games. We're in this league right now where we're in the conference finals. So if you haven't already gone and followed me on Kick, make sure you go follow me on Kick, kick.com/AyeDeon. We live stream every night over on Kick, whether it's for 2K, playing in Rec, City, Pro-Am, or even if we're playing something else like Call of Duty, when that drops coming soon this week, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna be on that thing heavy too. But make sure y'all go ahead and lock in with this one right here. It's Ben Shepherd, Troy Brown, Oscar Robinson. And I dropped the release speed down by 1, so I have at least an A speed. If you do decide to put this up, it's gonna go to an A+. If you want a little faster, you can get a little faster. I drop it down so I can get the time and stability up just a little bit more. It's a little bit easier timing for me personally with the 80-20. Troy Brown and Oscar Robinson are relatively fast jump shots. This gives you, of course, with the release height an A, release speed an A, defensive immunity is an A-, so you're not getting bothered as much. The only thing that could be better, of course, is time and stability. But if you think about the option with, let's say you go with JT Thor, right? JT Thor's is going to drop down. The time and stability is going to drop. Your release speed is going to drop. So then you'd have to end up putting this up to get the release speed back up to an A. I'm not a big fan of JT Thor this year. It was cool at one point, but I'm not really too hell-bent on it. It just doesn't work for me personally. And the 80-20 was just so I could ensure that if you notice when I dropped the Oscar Robinson down by 1, the defensive immunity drops to a B+. You put it back up, it goes to an A-. So that's the reason why it's an 80-20. Ben Shepherd also has one of the higher green windows as a base. Whenever you're looking for a base that works well, I use NBA 2K Labs, so if you're not using that, make sure to go check that out. It does cost you a little bit, but if you know somebody's got a code like Joe knows, people like that, and they also put out the code here and there, give you like a month of a discount. Definitely take advantage of it, especially if you're trying to learn a jump shot. They have a tester where you can plug in a controller and it can help you guys out with like learning that type of stuff. And then with this, on top of that, like I said, it's very easy to time. If you notice in the jumper, I use push with this particular jump shot. Basically what it is when he goes to the top of his head and he starts to move the ball forward, that's when you're going to want to release it at that kind of apex point of where the jump shot is going to come out of his hands. That's about where you're going to want to release it. And of course, you know what how this game is. They do speed up, they do slow down depending on where you're at. If I'm in the corner, I don't have to hold it as long as where I would where I'm, let's say I'm on a hash because I have a 79 3 ball. You have to hold it a little bit longer because you don't have limitless. I'm able to still shoot from that hash. I'm able to shoot from the top of the key. I'm able to shoot from the corner. Right now, I'm shooting very well. I'm at about, I want to say about 60% as of right now. Of course, this build is still fairly new, but I'm getting better and more comfortable with the jump shot. I'm getting better and more comfortable with the player itself. So it's definitely a good jump shot to kind of get you rolling if you have an 86 or up. And you have to be at least 6'5" to have this. So between 6'5" and 6'10", this is the one you're going to want to go with. Now, other jump shots, other bases I would say that you should definitely look into. Unfortunately, I'm not able to get the one I would want to show you guys. Is Tracy McGrady. Tracy McGrady has one of the higher green windows that are available for people on this game. You need at least an 87 to be able to get that jump shot or that jump shot base. And it's one of the most well-timed, one of the most well-looked at. Probably the best way you're going to go out here and find a jump shot worth a damn is because you're going to get a higher boost based off of that. Plus, I think it has a better timing stability as well. And that's another one you want to look into. Another person that I can actually show you guys that's actually, I think, a little bit underrated right now. Nasir Little is actually really good. As you notice, like my time and stability has gone up again as well. I can always put this up and my time and stability goes back down to what it was on my previous one. If you drop it down for that to be an A minus, you still get a B minus timing stability. If you want to speed it up just a little bit, you could drop that 6832. That'll put your release speed up, but your defensive immunity does drop by doing that as well. So if you want to make sure you're still keeping that time or defensive immunity, you just leave it at 80-20. Like I said, that's another good one that you could try out. That's another one that has one of those higher green windows as well. Another one that has a higher green window right now that people are looking at is Torian Prince, Dyson Daniels, and Jordan Aurora. I think that's how you say his name. I'll probably just butcher the hell out of it, which is highly possible knowing me. But this is how it would look if you did this type of jump shot. You have an A minus here, but if you bump it up, it's an A. Timing stability is still in that C range. You still have the defensive immunity and everything still the same. So you can do it like that. And then I'll show you guys what Dyson Daniels looks like as well. This is Dyson Daniels with the same setup. You have a D plus, so it's like JT Thor in that aspect. If you max it all the way out, if you drop it down by one, you have a C minus. You have an A minus release speed. And then also Torian Prince is another one of those that has a pretty decent green window as well. Maxed out as an A plus. Doesn't look bad at all. It looks relatively smooth. You can drop this down. It's not going to change much until you start doing stuff like that, and that's when it really drops and changes. But if you have an A with this one in particular, or an A plus, still have a A minus defensive immunity. Time and stability is a C. Also, another one that you could definitely try out that is definitely seeming to be really good. I'm not sure if I'm actually able to get it on this one. Actually, I am. Kevin Herter. This one, as you see right now, I would need we need an 87 as of right now. Now, if you notice, even if you drop it, you don't get anything under an A plus until you go all the way down on max speed, on like the release speed. So if you have it already maxed out, that's gonna happen. If you want to ensure that you can get this with these same releases, you'd have to drop this 76 to 24, and that will still give you the ability with an 86 to be able to get this jump shot. Kevin Herter's base is actually really high on the list as well for a green window too, and as you see, as soon as I dropped it, that fucks up again. So then you have to go back and try to drop it again. But as you see, the release height isn't good. To me personally, you need something that's a little bit higher in release height, because that's where you're really going to have the opportunity to really shine with it, because that defensive immunity is even higher with it. So unfortunately, that doesn't help you too much, but it's good in the sense that you're not going to get blocked as easily. Like, people are going to have to like really try to contest you to be able to stop a jump shot if your release height's higher, which is why personally I prefer the Ben Shepherd. Ben Shepherd's is, as you see, a release height of an A. Drop that back down. A speed, A minus defensive immunity, and time speed C plus. Now, let me go ahead and show y'all something for my bigs out there, my taller builds out there. You know what I'm saying? All right, so this is the jump shot I'm currently using for my Dirk build. As y'all know, I was using my Dirk build for a good minute, but things changed. I needed to make something for my Pro-Am team, so of course I came up with that back-end build. But if you want this Dirk build, it's also on my YouTube channel. Make sure to go check that out. This one here is Kevin Durant, Marquise Chris, LaMarcus Aldridge. Marquise Chris, 81-19. Max release speed. This gives me an A plus release speed, a B release height. Defensive immunity is on a C. Time and stability is an A. This one right here is relatively simple. I feel like I'm using it on push, but you could use this on release as well. It has a very good visual cue for release, so it's something you could actually try out for that. This, of course, you have to have an 86 as well. You have to be at least 6'10". So this is for my like 6'10" and up, my footers, that you can use if you have that higher midi or higher three-point shot. You can kind of get away with this one here. Another one that people use as far as a base. Let me go back to it. I did not mean to do that. As far as a base goes, the biggest one right now is Andre Drummond. As you can see, this is for like my lower end, like 3-point middies. The biggest thing with Andre Drummond is it has a high green window, but the timing stability is terrible, and you have to keep that in mind. Like with that in particular, isn't good for that specific timing stability. So if you're worried about the timing stability, another one you could definitely try out that's high up on the list right now is, let me see if I can find it again. Where you at? Where you at? Jonathan Isaac. You get back up on your timing stability. You have a release height, a speed as of right now. And that's with these particular releases. Now these releases, perfectly up to you. If you decide you want to try something different, definitely try something different. Another one I would tell you to try out is Dwight Powell. Victor Wembanyama has a pretty good green window as well that you could definitely try out, and Eric Pascal. And that's one of those ones that everybody kind of knows that has used. Here's Victor's base with these releases. It is a little bit on the slow side. I'm not really a big fan. You need at least a 77 with these releases to be able to hit those shots. I'm not a big fan of how the shot is set up. Not really my deal with that. And then to show you guys Eric Pascal, time and stability definitely goes back up. You need at least an 83 with this particular setup. You have a B plus release height, A plus release speed. Again, if you use release on this, I think it would be a lot better than using push. But if you notice with push, it actually isn't that bad because it goes right up to here, and then as soon as it gets like right here before the push up, that's when you would go ahead and let that shot go and let it fly. That's if you're using these particular releases as well. Now, as far as releases go, it's very difficult sometimes to kind of figure out like what works and what doesn't. But there are specific ones that work well. Particular releases that have a higher green window are Nikola Jovic. So this has a pretty high green window. It's probably one of the better green windows you have. And then you also have Jaren Jackson Jr. that has a high green window release, because this game is based on your high release green windows and base green release windows. So you have to keep that in mind. So let's say I decided I want to change this up. If I go down, it's gonna drop the speed. So this will probably be the most balanced one I can get without it like going too far. So this would give you a B plus, and a C plus. If you don't really care too much with the height, you can kind of get away with this here, where you can get an A minus, but you have a C plus defensive immunity and a B height. And then if you go up just one more, you'll get a B minus defensive immunity. And this is for 81 3 ball. If you have an 81 3 ball, Eric Pascal, you can kind of get away with this one here. And like I said, if you wanted to do Andre Drummond, which like I said, still has one of the higher ones, you could do that. Again, the timing stability is where you're going to have your most problems for your greening on your shots and stuff like that. And then if you wanted to look at Jonathan Isaac, you'll go back up again here. I think Jonathan Isaac would probably be the better option if you're going that route. And then like I was already showing you guys, Eric Pascal, timing stability is where it's at. You have at least a B minus, but you need to have at least an 81 3 ball or midi. And another base, just to toss it out there, Michael Porter Jr. Michael Porter Jr.'s base is real smooth. If you find the right blend as well, it is really, really smooth. So if I want to get at least a minus, you need a 6139 with these particular releases. This would probably be a good way to go about it. However, if you can get Troy Brown, get Troy Brown. If you can get Oscar Robertson, get Oscar Robertson. I don't believe I can get those on this build at all. Nah, it's not. You need at least a 6'5", between 6'5" and under 6'10", you're able to get the Oscar Robertson and Troy Brown. So those are good ones to look at. And I'm also going to show you guys one more jump shot that my boy Invade has put everybody onto. And I'm going to go ahead and link his in the description below, so make sure you go check that out. But I'm going to show you guys that real quick. All right, so for this particular one, you need at least 6'5" again, 6'5" to 6'9". And this is from, like I said, my boy Invade, who's literally cash, like constantly cash. Like it's never a doubt how cash that man is going to be with how he shoots. He is our PG/2 guard that really just dials in on his shooting ability and gets the job done. So this one here, Michael Porter Jr., Kyle Korver, Oscar Robertson, 80-20, max speed. Now keep in mind with this jump shot, before I believe it used to be you needed an 86 or an 87, but you need at least an 88 to be able to get this 3 ball. This one is what he uses. Again, I'm gonna link his in the description below, so you're gonna watch a video and his explanation on how he uses this jump shot, what he recommends, tips, tricks, all that good stuff. So make sure you go check that out. But this is the one he uses. He goes crazy with it. He's literally a knockdown shooter. Him and our boy Venom, knockdowns in the league, knockdowns when we go to the rec, knockdowns anywhere we going. This is the one he uses, so definitely check that out too. But hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. Hopefully these jump shots help you out moving forward for whatever type of player you want to be, whatever type of jump shots you're looking for. Hopefully these help you out. Make sure you go ahead and leave a like on the video if you enjoyed this. And also make sure to subscribe if you're new. I try to upload as much as humanly possible, whether it's playing 2K. Like I said, we do have Modern Warfare 3 coming up too, but we have our playoff games. We have our conference finals coming out tonight. I believe it's a best of 5 series for our conference finals. And we have our finals that we should be finishing up this week as well. So make sure to go ahead and check us out over on kick.com/AyeDeon. And I'll catch you on the next video, man. Peace.